pensar. Resuena por la pared, creando una canción. No quiero perder el ritmo. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá, a través de la gran oscuridad. Y más solo un trueno de horizontes, seremos miles, crecemos en número, solo un trueno de horizontes, seremos miles, más y más allá.
Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want.
thoughts get thrown around, but we keep going on believing, and on till we're all cried out, 'cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. This time it's not about escaping. We don't feel like it. We don't feel like it. 'Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. We both have thoughts of leaving when thoughts get thrown around, but we keep going on believing, and on till we're all cried out, 'cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. But this time it's not about escaping. We don't feel like it. We don't feel like it. 'Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to FSN presents Lidoma Summoner Showdown Grand Finals between S8UL and Kakao Gaming. It's me, Madness, alongside a new face in the cast. It's Mr. Black and White, aka Nimit Kumar, the man that has joined our community on a later note, but it's filled everyone's heart to the brim. People find him annoying, people find him great. I think he's a great presence in our community. Welcome, Mr. Black and White. How do you feel about casting this match?
Hello, Madness. I am super excited to try and cast this game. Very excited to see what our top teams are going to show in this best of three.
It's gonna be exciting nonetheless to say that because I honestly can't wait to see what they are going to be doing. We had a surprise defeat for S8UL, in that beginning matchup between NTO. I think it's a surprise not just to us, to the community, and mind you, that was a day where Lotus was lagging. I think he was out of sleep also, so we can forgive certain mistakes like that. And in the rematch that S8UL had against NTO, they did deliver quite their revenge story right there. They made it out, but this is the first time S8UL has ended up in a lower bracket in a tournament, and I think this is a change in pace of how the community is going right here. Also, if people don't know, we were supposed to originally be doing a bracket reset grand finals. And what does that mean? Essentially, is that if you guys end up in the upper brackets and you go into the finals and you lose a BO3 in that grand finals, you get a reset of that best of three. If you ended up beating it in the first best of three, well and good, you become champions, right? But the problem here is Kakao Gaming, who are our upper finalists, actually forfeited one of that series in the beginning because of a bit of a lack of players at that time. So essentially, it's just going to be a best of three grand finals over here, Black and White.
Yeah, little mistakes, I guess, from S8UL, new players joining in their team. So maybe a gelling issue could have been the case, the reason why they lost to NTO. But other than that, like huge stompage in the lower bracket by them. Let's see what they can do in this best of three. And Kakao with a flawless record throughout the tournament, barely breaking a sweat in all the games. Let's see. This is going to be a very interesting game.
I believe it's going to be a very interesting game, and we will be heading. I like the point that you the point that you made. Right, it is newer members coming into the roster. RT and Kratos not there right now. S8UL is actually a full Indian roster, and without further ado, we're going to be heading right into Champion Select over here. Right, as you can see on your screens, it's going to be S8UL on the blue side. Unfortunately, we don't have the fancy UIs that we usually do. We're going to stick to the basics over here. We have that nice layout in the bottom. But yeah, talking about those new players, right? Coming in is going to be King, aka Panda, on the top lane, and Nero has been filling in as support instead of Kratos in the bot side, right? Kaka has been the substitute. He has also played a couple of games coming into this competition, but all in all, still a pretty shaky start, at least, to the tournament for S8UL. But they have been picking up the paces. The last two series they played, they completely dominated. Everything till now has been a best of one, mind you, right? So now we finally get to see the first best of three in the tournament, and this is exactly where Fearless Draft comes out, Black and White. And any thoughts about Fearless Draft?
Game like what I feel like with this fearless draft is one team is mostly playing for their main picks, and the other team is looking to get those picks out. So like one game is like, if I'm on my comfort, or say enemy team is on comfort, you're gonna not want to waste your comfort picks. That's what I feel like should be the game plan when you're in a fearless draft.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Get some of those compromises out and play according to that. And now that with King coming to the top side, I think more of a opener pool than what we are used to seeing from RTO, right? I think King plays a variety of champions essentially, and first time we saw maybe an S8UL top laner playing a Pantheon top that side. But the bans are coming in. Speaking of the Pantheon, that hits the deck. So does the Syndra and Hue Catport. We know that this man loves it. He can completely change a game on that Hue or Syndra. From the side of S8UL, they have banned out the Renekton, the Mordekaiser, the Zaya, and it seems seems that we have had a bit of a rehost over here, guys. So you're gonna get to see our lovely faces yet again on the screen. But I think seeing those bans, right, coming in black and white, it's interesting to see the Zaya was targeted prior. I've not seen S8UL till now even once ban out a Zaya in competition. So interesting changes coming in for them. Maybe they're wary of what is going to be played in the bot side, and it was looking that we might actually have a Yunara first pick. Lotus has been slightly hit and miss on this champion, so it's going to be good to see what he can actually come out with over here.
Yeah, and it's also denying Sam the Yunara pick because Sam has also been spamming a lot of Yunara in ranked and all. I feel like Yunara as a champion is very, very strong. Like if she gets ahead, like she will be very hard to shut down.
Yeah, she will honestly be very hard to shut down. This very hard, you can't do again. We have seen some, nice kind of build patterns coming out on the champion. Hexplate coming in. We've been seeing, people coming up with their own unique builds. But yeah, like you're saying, Yunara, once she hits that 3-item spike, it changes quite a bit. And it looks like we're heading right back into Champ Select. So let's take a look right at that. It's going to be the same bans. I think there was just a bug in the lobby. That's why we had to rehost. But otherwise, everything else will be pretty much the same. Those first 3 bans coming in, the Yunara probably is going to get locked in as well. But honestly, this is an interesting tournament. For people who have not been following the tournament and not heard what we said till now, S8UL actually did lose a match against NTO. Mind you, they were quite ahead. I think Infi was 21-1 on the Rengar the game. A couple of mistakes, hiccups there. The ADC not performing due to maybe also he was playing, I think, on 400, 500 ping, so that always going to affect. But that Yunara does get locked in for this side. And like talking about the kind of not newer player, because Panda has been role player, but he's recently just come back into the scene, right? So what do you think of Panda as a top laner, black and white?
From what I've heard, like from all the OG players in the community, this person was the best top laner of his time. He has a very diverse pool, and we saw in the games he's played Darius, Pantheon, and Renekton, all these champions, like very meta heavy, very skirmish heavy champions that thrive in a 1v1, 1v2.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So-
He does thrive quite a bit in that. But look at that on the other side. The Nocturne Orianna combo instantly snatched up by the side of Kakao Gaming. And we have seen DC and the mid lane perform it quite a bit. Oh, are we going to see Akshaj Kiana coming in? Because that's exactly what it's looking like. And this is the champion on which he dominated in that LCP wildcard playoffs match, which they ended up winning.
Okay, yeah, Kiana, and it's a very good flex pick right now. Kiana in the jungle is one of the highest picked junglers in Diamond Plus solo queue as well. So a very good flex pick coming out from S8UL.
Good. The Gragas. Oh, the big drunkard in the top lane is going to be coming out. I can also technically be flexed, but I'm pretty sure it's going top. I don't think Nero's going to be playing that as a support or a jungler in the hands of Infi. Infi likes to be very aggressive. Like you're saying, it is a flex pick Kiana that can put doubts in minds, but till now we have never seen Infi be playing a Kiana in a tourney. It's always been the Aksha being Catbot picking that up. The Severe coming in. Severe technically top of all tier lists of ADCs right now in terms of champion pool. You can go the Essence River or the Yuntal's first item. I personally prefer the Yuntal's build coming in. And now we're going to see some targeted bans towards Infi because they don't think that's a flex pick at all. J4's been banned out. So in the eyes of Kakao Gaming, the Kiana's definitely going in the mid.
Okay, yeah, J4 most comfort pick for Infi, so getting that out. And on the side of S8UL, they're respecting Kakao's top side, banning 2 of their champions already. And now they're just getting Lulu out. Any champion that goes well with Sivir, trying to shut down the bot lane for Lotus here.
Yeah, they're gonna try and shut it down. And honestly, let's see what they're gonna pair up with that Yunara with, because the Lulu, I think, is one of the best. Even the Melio is going to do wonders for you. It's pretty much just like playing a Jinx in the bot side. Like, you want a hyper carry with that, the support, the Enchanter coming in. So I'm going to be assuming something on those lines. And for the bot side of Kakao Gaming, a Karma Severe combo is always going to be hard to deal with. And that's, the Karma gets banned for them. They don't want a Yunara Karma combo coming out, it seems. In terms of engage, at least you have the Nocturne all coming in, plus with the Shockwave combo coming in. If it does properly, it could be done nicely. Nero, importantly, banning out the Rakan, actually, that he played earlier on in this evening in that best of one against 0-10 Power Spy. He had a couple of mishaps here and there, but I don't think that's what he's going to be playing today. Let's just see what this man can actually pull out of the bag over here and what Infi is going to go for. Infi is just like one of the biggest champion pools you're ever going to see.
Yes, he does. The Rakan ban is mostly because they don't want to give Oriana another setup other than Nocturne. Or Oriana with Rakan is also a very good setup. The Aurora top lane is a good pickup, I would say, but they are now very AP heavy in Oriana and Aurora, both in the top side and mid.
Kind of, yes, you are actually completely right on that. A lot of AP heavy coming in. And yeah, that's Aurora going top side. We have seen quite a few Aurora tops coming in, especially since that LCB wildcard playoff. Our region is also adjusting to it. We are going to get to see Infi on his Rengar again. So Infi Rengar, Kiana for Catbot. We're coming out all guns blazing, and a Braum pickup with the Yunara bot side. That could be very good. Yeah, you want that kind of engage right now because you're kind of lacking in terms of how you want to start up fights. Until now, it's only maybe the Exploding Cascade of the Gragas that could actually be doing anything. But Nero is circling through quite a bit of supports. It's going to be that Braum. I was pretty much expecting that Braum coming in from him. I think that's a good pick coming out.
Yes, Yunara Braum is one of the strongest bot lane duos right now. It's like Ash Braum, so you slow and then you just stun and kill them. That's the whole matchup basically. And it's the same with Yunara. You slow them with your W and then Braum walks up, autos, and then you get stunned.
Yeah, pretty much. You stack that up, you have pretty nice time with it, and you can do a lot bot side. Oh, instead, it's gonna be the Poppy actually coming in the bot side for the side of Kakao Gaming. There's something cooking up. In terms of dash, you have the Rengar's gonna come onto you, you have the Kiana's gonna do a lot as well. Yunara in her ulti also has a dash as well. The Gragas can E into you, so there's a lot you can stop. Even Braum jumping away, you can stop as well. So I think that's a pretty good pickup coming in for them. And it's exciting to see. We don't get to see that many Poppy supports, at least in South Asia.
Yeah, Poppy support it's a niche pick in Southeast Asia and most region as well. It's basically to deny these dive heavy comps. So Rengar wants to dive, Kiana wants to dive onto you, even Gragas wants to body slam into you and then throw you with his exploding cascade. So it's a great denial of area basically by Poppy. You can use your hammer to deny objectives. It's a very good pickup, I would say, by Kakao.
I think that's going really good for them, honestly, in all terms. So that is your draft locked in for game one, guys. Remember, this is a best of 3 to decide who's going to be the champion of FSN presents Lidoma Summoner Showdown. A big thanks to Lidoma for hosting tournaments in our region. This is their first community tournament that they're doing for League of Legends in SA. They've done a bunch in Europe as of yet, and it's good to see orgs from outside coming in and showing the love for this region as well. I believe our region will just continue to grow if this is the kind of love we continue to receive. But at the end of the day, this is a Nocturne Oriana combo. This is a fight that you would like to take, especially the AoE of Aurora later on. In your opinion, at least black and white, who do you think won out in terms of draft at least?
On paper, Kakao's team comp is very good. They have a very good engage. They have a very good disengage in Poppy. Like if everyone is jumping on, you have a Poppy that can zone them off with her steadfast presence. But speaking of that, S8UL has a very, very good engage. They have Kiana R, they have Rengar for picking, they have Gragas for a pick, they have Braum for a pick. They have a very good pick potential comp.
Yeah, and it is pretty good right now for them. Yeah, like you're saying, a good mix of engage and disengage, honestly, going on in for them. In terms of disengage for the other side, though, I'm honestly going to be looking at this mid lane matchup quite a bit. We know Akshay with the Kiana likes to put in that amount of, pressure in his lane. He likes to exert it, especially for himself, and I don't know how well he can actually do given that now people are kind of understanding his play style, he might get targeted a bit in the mid lane, honestly, for himself, because he's known to be that aggressive player. But once he starts going on the Kiana, it's very hard to stop him, honestly. And even the other teams from like other regions, basically, in that LCB wildcard had a hard time dealing with it. I think his Kiana and Katrina are the things that people have come to fear quite a bit from him in terms of assassination. And even after he was targeted quite a bit, the Kiana was left open more importantly. And even Rengar coming in for Envy, because Envy really snowballs with the champion. This is the champion in which technically they did end up losing the game against NTO, but he was 21-1 in that game. So that just tells you how well he knows this champion. I think this is one of the champions that he just has so much fun with and he's so creative with.
Yes, I totally agree with you, Madness. The side S8UL, they're all looking to snowball. So Kiana, once she's ahead, she's a terror by roaming. Rengar loves to. It's basically if Rengar is ahead, he's gonna one-shot anyone and everyone on their team. Gragas as well. Gragas, once he's ahead, he's just a menace. He just pokes you out of lane. Yunara, the same concept. Like once she's ahead, Braum Yunara will just insta-kill in the lane. So on the side of S8UL, you're just looking to snowball. On the side of Kakao, but they have pure team fight. Aurora R, Oriana R, Nocturne R, Poppy R, Sivir movement speed, Sivir AoE damage. It's like pure team fighting on the side of Kakao.
Yeah, it is kind of pure team fighting, honestly, for themselves. And there's a lot of targets that they don't know who they're actually wanting to hit from the side of, Kakao Gaming. They don't know who actually they want to prioritize because there's a lot of damage coming across the board for everybody, honestly, in that sense, right? And I think it's going to be a hard time to deal with, like, in terms of target prioritization, who you actually want to end up going for. Because if Kiana gets ahead, it's hard. Yunara's anyway just going to keep on scaling up as well, right? And Aurora is also a pretty good late game champion in the sense that you have the scaling. So I think now we're going to a meta where we actually building more types of comps where we are more balanced in terms of fighting power across the time of the game, right? We're no longer just going for just early game, no longer just going for late game. We're balancing it out pretty well, essentially, over here. But I'm really excited to see Love2's Poppy. I don't think I have seen this man play Poppy as of yet. So that's going to be an interesting factor heading into this game. Can't wait to see how well it does pay out for him. Because like you're saying, this is a very good pickup as a last pick here.
Yes, this match is gonna be the battle of the supports. Both supports are huge pickups. This Braum can basically shield all of the damage on the side of Kakao. The Aurora Qs, the Nocturne R, the Oriana R, the Sivir damage. This Braum can block almost everything on the side of S8UL. Same goes with the Poppy for Kakao. This Poppy can deny basically all engage from the side of S8UL. So it's gonna come down to which support pilots their champion better.
Yeah, and you have to also keep in mind that Nero is technically not built as a support player, right? He's mostly spent his time in the mid lane. He has filled in, I think, before this tournament at least once or twice for S8UL as a support, but technically this is bread and butter playing support like this. He is a player who likes to show aggression as well, very good in the scene, and I think this might be just a battle of change of experience between these players right now, because otherwise I'm not quite sure what separates them. Because if you guys don't know, S8UL versus Kakao Gaming have never come out on top in a series, and unfortunately it might just be looking like that right now. And guys, we will just be back with the action before this game starts out. Don't go anywhere.
living a hollow life. I'm living a hollow life.
To this event. I'm sorry for the delays. The game was just seeming not to start, but we're going to be jumping into it very shortly over here. I cannot wait to watch what these players are going to bring out. As you can see, we're loading into the Rift. I don't know how well this will go for either of these teams right here.
Let's see, Madness, what's gonna be. Nothing much happening in the start of the game, I would say. Just a normal mid lane hover. Though Infi is looking for, but DC he's very aware of the shenanigans that S8UL pulls off.
Yeah, he's gonna be very well, especially when he used to be a part. Okay, so he does know a couple of these tendencies, but they're just having a bunch of fun over here between themselves. Nothing quite serious. DC has been known to be that aggressive guy who likes to go in late. He's just waiting for the word. Cat was just chilling over there in the bush. Let's take a look at runes and summoners as of now. The Unsealed Spellbook for Nero. Not that big a fan, given that it has been reduced right now in terms of patches, but you still get the double smite. You have to at least get the smite rotations earlier and get 2 smites in that sense, then you have that powerful smite for yourself later on in fights. Other than that, it seems pretty standard across the board. Nothing of serious nature, no cheesing going on. In terms of vision, no one has it actually towards any camp, so honestly, junglers will be unknown by both teams.
Yes, I do see Catbot with the ignite, so very, very interesting there. But here in the bot lane, early trading, summoners being blown already. Heal by Nero and exhaust as well coming out.
Yeah, love to burn his exhaust, the heal from Nero plus the barrier from Lotus. So, flurry of punches being burned bot side, a lot being burnt in terms of them not respecting that aggro. And like you said, yeah, Catbot's gonna bring that ignite. He really likes putting this pressure. I don't think I've ever seen played with the TP Kiana. He does love going for these trades, and that's exactly what he's going to be looking to go for. Again, level 2 advantage coming. These are the timers that you have to respect. Love to one more auto get stunned up, but no. Now the Q has been evolved up by Lotus, putting in some more punches in, and still Sam and Love to just about hit that level 2. W's pushed in the wave in the meantime, and even Vortex has the pressure top. Catbot's going all in for this kill. He does burn the ignite, but he gets the flash away from W. Definitely worth trade in some for himself right now, because this is exactly what you want to see. Now you have a flash with Orna, very easy to gank later on if Infi wants to go there. We Lotus in the bot side, not looking on the healthier mark, gets caught by Poppy. This could spell disaster, exactly what you go, and you always want to get that early recall as you know, because you pick up the cull and that gives you so much agency in the lane.
Yes, but I think Lotus is opting out from the cull pick and just going out for straight up survivability with the refillable pot. Though the lane is looking a little bit bad for S8UL in the bot lane, because the wave is pushing in and Civet base with Yunara. Top side, always Aurora is gonna have the prio compared to the Gragas, just because it's a range versus melee matchup.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure all top laners across, we don't like range top laners, but that is kind of what we're looking at right now. And now look, Catbot gonna get pressured a bit by W. The same thing's coming in, but it's a W without a flash. Infi's coming in from the side, but Dead Corporal's close by. Connect onto the root, connects onto plus the change from the empowered E as well from Infi. But here comes the fade from Dead Corporal's flash away by the Rega to get to city. Instantly jumps back to the bush onto the Nocturne, but the HP bar is not looking so good. Catbot has to flash over, comes back in, gets the electric proc, gets the trade kill, but this is an Orianna. His autos do a lot of damage, and technically a 2-for-1 trade going in favor of Kakao Gaming.
Yeah, all sums burned. Like the Orianna did not have flash, but she had no pressure on her the whole time. Once the Rengar roots goes away, there's no sticking potential for the team on the side of S8UL. And a great steadfast presence from Love 2, and Nero is dead here.
Yeah, there's not many places that Braum can go. At least he got the stacks off onto Love 2, so Lotus looking for the trick and flashes forward with the W, gets the kill, but Sam's there to pick up the pieces. A double kill coming in this bloody bot lane that has started out with Sam being burnt out, but Sam comes out the victorious, the only survivor in that exchange, and he has those 2 kills for himself. Gonna get a really good back in as well, and more interestingly, he did not choose to pick up a cull on his own back. Maybe it was just the lack of gold on that first back that he got.
Yes, maybe. And this is the power of Poppy coming in here. The Braum engages but has to back off. The steadfast presence denies the Braum this access, and kill coming off of that for Sam.
Absolutely, W. In the meantime, in the mid lane, pops his phase rush, gets away from that exchange, and Poppy looks to be starting to go for these roams now, because Sam is in a pretty good spot. Looks like he's going SNG for Nero. You might be looking to get caught out here. Not quite sure. He's just waiting in that bush. Love 2 doesn't mind that. Throws a hammer to his face. He'll take it any day. Lotus has been left alone. Drake now being started up by S8UL right now. So who can actually do it for themselves? Infi versus Nero. Infi and Nero on this Drake. Pink getting cleared out. Yeah, this is going to be their Drake. And looks like Nocturne's going to be answering with the gank top side on Panda. But Panda's well aware of this. Nocturne hasn't been spotted. So he's going to be walking safely away. He's just going to E over the wall essentially over here. Full vision on where this Nocturne is. Spell shield used by Nocturne. Just use that casket. But Mountain Drake. First jungle objective of the game picked up by S8UL.
And a gank coming here, and this looked like a dead civil. And the sun, yes.
This is a very dead Sam coming in as a 3 versus 2 with the Braum passive coming up. And more importantly, it's Lotus who actually ends up picking the kill. That's a much needed goal going in the pocket of that Yunara. Catbot uses ulti with the ignite, gets the kill onto W, but he can get out alive. No, unfortunately. Actually, he does. He goes over the wall, gets away before the Fear can connect onto Nocturne. Nocturne is still hunting for his prey, but he's still level 5. Catbot can actually go for an execute if he plays it nicely. But no, the exploding plant. DC was predicting this. He didn't chase too far to Catbot because he knew Catbot's going to come back exactly towards him. This time the Fear will connect. This time the kill should be going to Dead Corporal, but Catbot's wasting so much time over here. Finally, with the last throw of the Q from DC, he picks up the kill, but Catbot was pretty much just jumping around playing Jack in the Box in these bushes, and it was very hard to catch onto him, and unfortunately still, DC does pick up the kill, but a lot of time was wasted, but this is Catbot without TP, so wave pressure will come in from W. He's going to push that in, get some more CS for himself, and he already has CS advantage. Catbot threw everything in the kitchen sink at W to get the kill, left with very less, and almost even then went for this game, but DC playing those mind games came out on top.
Yes, but the combo from the Kiana at level 6, beautiful execution of the root into the R and then ignite, and the kill for Catbot. Though I would say, speaking like on top, like the Orianna would come on top because she got a plate, she got extra minions. A lot of time was wasted by Catbot trying to escape.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Capo wasting so much time escaping like that can make a lot of difference for themselves. King has been making his merry way bot side to stop. He's been switch around. Perfect timing in terms of grubs. Nocturne can't even answer this one instead. He's hitting level 6. We've not seen a paranoia as of yet, but all 3 grubs should be looked to be picked up by S8UL. They're looking to maybe just get 2 and back out essentially over here, but no, they're going to push him forward. Look at this. DC wants to challenge for the last grub, though. He's coming into the fight. Here comes the shockwave. A good wombo combo coming into W and Death Corporal. They're catching everyone off guard. The 3-man Kiana ultimate is not enough to save Catbot. He goes invisible, but gets caught out. And this is what we were talking about. That paranoia plus the shockwave is something you cannot undermine. It's going to come up huge, especially like it did in that team fight.
Beautiful collaboration there by the Nocturne and the Orianna. 4-man shockwave into the Poppy stuns. Beautiful execution on the side of Kakao here.
Absolutely, and you can see the ball was put onto the Nocturne halfway through his paranoia coming into the fight. So good timing. This is the kind of combination we've seen. I think we've seen it before also from exactly these same two individuals. So a few times this combo does get passed through into the draft. They have made complete use of it, abused it as much as they can, and they pretty much never miss out. You never see a fail, wombo combo coming out from there. But look at Infi, he's going to be sneaking his way in bots, and especially used by Sam. Won't have that for the next 18 seconds right now. But does Infi know he's going to be walking over what? Now will. The sweeper has been used by him. So he realized a bit of a waste of time, but there was no camps up, not much he can do. Maybe he can pick up a scuttle on his way out. Instead, just going for the recall. Actually, pick up the game at plus the pickaxe. Looking to really go for that Profane Hydra. Top side, Aurora's going to be keeping that CS lead, fighting up as much as he needs to go for. I think it's still fine in terms of how they are looking right now. Sam and Love 2 are going to be, and this one talking about Sam's going for the Essence Reverb, not the Yuntal. So playing on the safer side wants that mana regen for themselves as well. But look at Nero and Lotus, they're being as sneaky as possible. Sam's just not walking up. He knows he smells something that's not supposed to be there, and his patient space of dividends, he does not get caught out. They're going to still survive it out over them. Talking in terms of CS, right? I think the main CS difference is that top and mid in favor of Kakao right now.
Yeah, top is very understandable because it's Aurora into Gragas. Gragas can farm with his Qs, and another Paranoia coming.
But the Paranoia comes in the bot side. They don't catch it out. Yunara has to pop the ultimate to stay alive. Got that extra added E to run away. And the ultimate coming in from Catbot. Locks him to W. This man could not move. In your own terms, Black and White, he could not move. I could not move ever again. That's exactly what Black and White says every single time I play an ARAM with him. But that is exactly what happened to W. And unfortunately, yeah, that's going to be a lot of CC chained up onto you. That's going to be you getting caught out. And this is exactly what Catbot will be looking through time and time again.
Yeah, so on point, like as soon as your R is up on Kiana, you have kill threat once you have that Profane Hydra, because Orianna doesn't build any resistance early in the game, so very squishy and very one-shottable.
Very squishy, one-shottable, and now the feats of the jungle have been picked up by Team S8UL. They picked up every single jungle objective now, except for maybe that one grub in that pit where that beautiful combo came in later on. But they still sacrificed first 2 drakes and 2 grubs from the side of Kakao in favor of S8UL. And you can see Infi's picked up the Yomuso. Now the first item coming, especially these lethality items, going to do a lot of damage in the fight. That combo of Rengar and Kiana is going to melt an excellent ultimate coming in from Gragas onto Vortex. Vortex doesn't have much mana. Not many places he can go. Oh, nice use of the ultimate to get away to this side. Gragas is in the chase. Love 2's coming in as well. The flash. Oh no! The W was not enough to get the kill onto Vortex. You can barely see his HP bar over there, Black and White.
Very, very close. A beautiful R by the Gragas to put him under tire and lock him down. But great use of Between Worlds by Vortex. And a missed ult here. No. But the Gragas should still be dead. Flashless and the set fast presence here. And that's a very dead Gragas, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that is a very dead. That's the first time I've seen them mess up the combo, essentially. But at the end of the day, it didn't make that much of a difference. Not many places Gragas could, like you're saying, very practical. Didn't have his flash, had used it trying to get the kill onto Vortex. Infi pops his Yomus coming in onto W, but the flash stunned against the wall by Love to the savior. That W did need to stay alive, comes in clutch, and this is, the prioritization of that Poppy pick. Couldn't W in time to stop Rengar jumping in onto the Orianna, but the flash stunned against the wall. Very quick thinking by Love 2 over there.
Yes, just push him away from the Orianna and force the flash out of the Rengar, because once you have a jump and you don't have any bushes nearby, the Rengar doesn't really have any way to close the gap on the squishy carries.
Oh, this might be a gank on the bot side. The flash out by Nero does not connect. Sam is now trying to hit away. Catbot's there, I think. That's going to be the end of it. Lotus trying to go back in onto Sam, but I don't think this is the kind of smooth that you want. But here comes Cat with the ultimate hit, but Sam flashes away from the exchange. The only catch on to Love 2, and Love 2 is really tanky right now. You can do a lot of damage to Kiana, but you're not going to be one-shotting a Poppy right about now, and he's only going to get tankier. And Sam doesn't mind, actually, because he has the Essence Reaver, doesn't mind just spamming abilities. The mana will always be there for him, but the flash actually did go away, and Lotus still retains his. So tough times right now. The gank potential was completely whiffed by that flash by Nero coming in, but hold that thought. Catbot might be looking to get caught out, going back in onto Sam. Sam uses the parry. The shockwave was also used onto Sam to maybe protect him, essentially, but the kill comes in on to Akshaj for being a bit too greedy in that situation.
Yes, they saw Akshaj on the ward, and he tried to trade because he's dead there 10 times out of 10. It's a 4v1 and he's half HP. Trying to get one back in terms of Sam, but narrowly missing out on the damage.
Yep, absolutely narrowly missing on that. The Glacial Fissure went completely away when Nero went in. Not quite sure. This is what we're talking about. Maybe just want to be comfortable on the role. He loves to actually go for these kind of engages from what I've seen when he's playing support. But he's kind of been a bit of a hit and miss in that category. Infi looks to be taking the chains away, but Love to is trying to answer back. Doesn't get stolen away. Love to gets his stun onto Nero. Guess what? It's a Braum. You're locking up. Dead Corp is coming in. That should be a very dead Braum essentially over here. The ultimate pop by Vortex catches out onto 3 members. Uses it to get to the other side, chasing on to Infi. Lotus, basically what two of S8UL end up hitting the crazy. Infi is not done. Yomus gets popped. He jumps onto DC, but he just barely survives. So that's going to be Infi trying all out to maybe get a 1 trade kill over there. But at the end of the day, it's a 2-0 in favor of Kakao Gaming.
Yes, Kakao Gaming has come all guns blazing this first game of a best of 3. Right now, a 3k goal lead. They got the feats of strength. So very good position right now for Kakao.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good position coming in for them. And the only, bad part is like behind in terms of Drake numbers, essentially. Other than that, seems pretty fine for them. W, you don't want to walk in onto Cat, but Cat was going to do this on rinse and repeat. W flashes over, matched by the Kiana, gets that last auto off, gets a shutdown actually after Oriana showing prowess across the map. But Catbot's going to 1v1 you any day of the week in that situation, especially if you're not expecting him in the bush over there.
Yeah, that's the power of Kiana, buffed recently by Riot. They wanted her to be in the jungle, and now Akshaj is running a rampage in mid with this champion.
Yeah, he is. And to be fair to Akshaj, he's been doing this with this champion even before Kiana has been buffed. Like, this is something that we've come to expect from a lot of teams, even banned it out against him during the LCK wildcard playoffs. And this is what they were fearing. His Katarina and Kiana were like the top priority picks all the way down. But hold that, Ocean Drake is the 85. This should be Drake number 3. Here comes the Poppy ultimate. Doesn't actually knock anybody away. Dead Corporal channels the Paranoia. Is looking to be going on to the Kiana, but the damage is not there. The follow is not there. Love to go in, gets a nice stun against the wall. Protects Poppy's own ultimate. Catbot by himself on the lonesome in the backside, but Lotus is still alive. Lotus is doing a ton of damage. You have to get the kill. He flashes away from the fear, and if your Urana is alive, you are not going to lose a fight. A double kill coming in for Infi. Make that a double kill coming in for Lotus. Their third Drake picked up. They are on Ocean Soul Point, and it was basically a 5-for-2, an ace coming out for S8UL.
Beautiful team fighting here on the side of S8UL. They prioritized their targets well. They got Sam early, and then Lotus was free-firing the whole fight. Even though W got a 4-man shockwave again, but there was not enough damage once Sam was down.
Oh, but this might be an overextend from Lotus and Co, because Vortex is TP'd in behind. Lotus, you can't do much. No much of fancy footwork is going to save you over there. Vortex is going to auto you to death after the Q landed onto him. A shutdown. Very huge lead part going over to the Rook. Once that scaling up has been Yandri's completed. Looking for maybe the Shat Flame next as well. A lot of damage coming in, and Nakshat has also started building up lethality. Talking about Yunara's items, Yuntal's completed, not going for the Kraken build anymore, maybe after the bug fixes coming in, and as well as the Infinity. So very, very strong, especially after the Ruins Hurricane, which I'm expecting next from Lotus. She's going to be very hard to deal with. DC's going to come into this fight with the Paranoia, but it's a bit of an overreach, overzealous attempt, I would honestly say. And now your Paranoia is down essentially for the next minute or so. Catbot in the meantime is going to pick up a tier 1 in the bot side. So a slight hiccup coming in for Kakao Gaming, and S8UL do technically have the goal lead for themselves.
They do have a gold lead, and they also have 3 Drakes, and each Drake is like 1,000 gold worth of stats. So, looking good for S8UL suddenly. But here comes Vortex trying to ult. Oh, beautiful dodge by the Aurora, using her R to dodge the Kiana R, and that's a solo, almost a solo kill. Love to coming in with the flash stun into the wall to assist for that.
Love to's been on it with the Poppy essentially over here. He saved his teammates a couple of times already, and a kill on the Catbot is always going to be welcome for you, especially with the action mark completed for Kiana. She's going to be looking to spam ultimates, but hold on. In the meantime, Rengar going invisible with the ultimate. He's going to jump in, that is a solo kill. The Braum was there just for show and tell. Lotus, you might be in a tough place. The stun actually connects on just the edge of the wall of the chicken bit, and that Corporal will be the benefactor of that kill. Nero's just gonna come in, get looking for maybe a love tap onto Love to, but no, essentially nothing. That's a bit of a misstep from Lotus. Not quite sure what the positioning was coming in from the AEC of S8UL.
So the Braum was walking bot side to catch this Aurora, and Lotus not respecting where their enemy jungler can be and was punished for the same.
And I love the stun coming in for Love 2 essentially over there. Braum looking to come in with the Winter's Bite at the end, do something, but not much. Rift Herald, I think the eye has expired, so has been summoned in the mid lane. I don't think you can do much, but at least with the distraction, it looks like the call from S8UL members are to go to Atakan. Atakan has been started up. Is there vision? There is actually no vision for Kakao Gaming, but they have the idea, they have the game sense. Something's going down both sides right now, especially after that channel. Here comes the paranoia, but you're not going to get any targets from Dead Corporal. And they're going to very smartly back away from S8UL. They're going to let the Atakan reset. I don't expect either team to go in. And without Nocturne's ultimate, not much you can do. No paranoia available. A bit of a mistime. They thought maybe they can pick off something, maybe actually get the tier in. Dead Corporal looks to get caught out, flashes away from the ultimate coming in from Catbot. And now you have a flashless Dead Corporal, an ultimate-less Dead Corporal, but the stun against the wall out near, plus the shockwave. The creature comes in, but it's a little late for that. Infi comes in as a surprise gift over there, but has to flash over the wall. Vortex is in hot pursuit. How much damage can Catbot do over here? It's 5 versus 2 essentially, and Catbot is trying to flash and run away for his life, but not many places he can go. You're still gonna get 2 kills for nothing for Kakao Gaming, but the low HP bars will be significant, at least for now. Atakan going for no one. Catbot's trying to get some cancels on recall. He's gonna go in on to Dead Corporal, but the last auto did not connect. Has to actually now burn his flash getaway. DC is now very low on HP. He's gonna be trying to heal up from the ground. The TP comes in from Nero, not quite sure about that, but they look to be starting up Atakan right here. Infi's trying to do as much damage. The resets have been coming in. Maybe they think that because Dead Corporal's low, this is the chance to strike. But the paranoia is back up. That's how long this fight's been going on. Instantly goes into Kiana, gets the kill. A killing spree coming in. Lotus is trying to kite Bob and weave his way as much as he can. You can't get away from the stun of Love 2. He's pretty much just going after him himself. This Poppy is a menace. Atakan going very, very low over here. Dead Corporal has the smite, looking to get that, but he goes down before Infi now has the opportunity, looking to go for it, but takes taken away by Vortex. Gragas is being another menace as well. Now he's going to try and get Atakan. It's a fight between Love 2 and King. Who can get this up for themselves? Who's going to keep that burst damage for them? And King, I don't think he knows that Poppy's there. The Hextech flash in doesn't connect. He goes for the buckle, but the buckle's not enough damage. You are, after all, the support Poppy. 649 HP left on Atakan, who ends up picking this up. It's Love 2 who comes out on top. Love 2, the support, who is doing everything and more for his team right now.
Love 2 is solo carrying at this point. Like, very well played by this Poppy. He has gotten the kill on Lotus. There were blinking HP bars on the side of Kakao Gaming the whole time, but the fight was so long that they were able to TP and get another fight coming here, and Catbot is instantly executed on the side of S8UL, and it's looking a very bad fight for S8UL, and Kakao is gonna clean up everyone, and it's a 4 for nothing, a 4 for 1 now.
It's 4 for 1. If he's looking to go for more essentially over, he can actually get a triple kill if he plays this cautiously. At least Drake has been stopped. Yeah, I didn't like actually going on the side, right? He's trying to get an ultimate, maybe get an early pick onto Dead Corporal instead. But be sure it is, DC with them with his Oriana. It was a solo shockwave used for him. Drake now will be taking up, you're getting vision away. Infi might be looking for a shield. This is soul essentially for himself. But I don't think he's going to pay too much attention. He's just going to back away. Instead, they have too good of, a buffer right now in terms of Drakes. Right, this is only the first Drake that Kakao has gone for, but my God, I think the man of the hour, like you said, Black and White, has to be this Poppy for what was just done at that Atakan.
Like very good discipline from this Poppy, knowing how much she can burst down and outsmiting basically Gragas, which mind you has a very strong one-shot potential in like E, W, Q, but very well played from the side of this Poppy.
I believe I saw Atakan go to 30 HP if I'm not wrong at the end of it, so playing to the complete limit. Like you say, there's so much burst damage in King, but I think he used a lot of those abilities just before it got to a range where he can get the burst kill onto it. Like, I think he slightly also miscalculated because it was left at 30 HP after the abilities were used over the increase. Looking for his next play, this might be Vortex getting picked in. He burns the Zonias at least, goes gold, and if he uses the push to maybe go back in, but Vortex has to flash and flee away. But terms of jungle objectives, now one Drake has been picked up, now one Atakan has been going to Kakao game. So slowly but surely they're clawing their way back into the matchup for this. Paranoia used on the bot side onto Catbot. Not quite sure where Catbot is looking to be going. He went back in to the turret when he was in turret aggro range, but that's the Nocturne essentially pulled down to the bottom side. If this Baron is not burned enough in time, then Corporal will make it back into this fight. This could be disaster for S8UL. This might be a bad call, honestly, coming in for them, because here comes Love to and eats away the big bad cat. Infi is no longer in the picture. Here comes the Glacial Fissure, but it's all for naught. Lotus is still styling on them on the backside, but he has no feel left. That's Nero going down. He hops over the wall. Infi's coming in for more damage. Lotus might just end up burning down. That's exactly what happens. He burns down to the Infi is going crazy. A triple kill coming in for the, but the Quadra has been denied. And at the end of it, the only one left standing is Aurora. Vortex RH, the sole survivor of this bloody fights.
Considering that this was a 4v5, because Catbot died in the bot side and they had the pick, there was a 3v2 on the top side entrance of to the river. But very well played on the side of S8UL. Lotus kiting very well and essentially 3v1ing, and then there was Infi coming at the end and cleaning up all the kills.
A summoner has reconnected.
It is exactly like you're saying. He comes in, cleans up all the kills, but unfortunately doesn't get the kill on foot. But that's the power of the Rengar, right? He goes in later on, you're low HP. He just pretty much one-shots you if you're at that HP mark. He's going to be getting the kills for yourself. He's going to be happy about that completely. And then he just keeps on doing his job, right? He's just going to be doing as much. Baron was denied at least, right? From the side of Kakao Gaming. Like you're saying, that was a 4v5 for S8UL because Catbot was taken down bot side by Dead Corporal, who just made a run all the way to come back in over here to this fight. Just about makes it in time. I again love to comes in clutch because Infi wasn't there for a majority of the fight. He gets ulted away by the Poppy, thrown across as that side. So I think Love to is, like you're saying, carrying this game hard for his team right now.
Yes, he is, and that hammer was very well timed. He knocked the Rengar out, and then the engage on the side of that Poppy was also very good. He did a flash in knock the Lotus, and the Yunara was unable to deal a damage for quite a long time, but still managed to make 3 of them with very low HP, so that Infi can come and clear everything all.
Yeah, and that is, good damage coming in. You feel like you're saying gets a clean up, but that's pretty much a reset on this Baron fight. Now we're going to have to assess situation. Drake's going to come up in 2 minutes, 15 seconds. That would be Soul Drake for S8UL if they do manage to proclaim it. And it's very far from Soul Drake for the side of Kakao Gaming. They only have one Drake to their name as of yet. The Winter Spike connects onto Love too, but nothing much of sort going to be done to him. Talking in terms of XP, it's looking pretty good. W is one level behind Catbot, but Sam's one level up onto Lotus. And Lotus has always got to be worried about Dead Corpers just jumping onto him. Dead Corpers' most targets have been Catbot in a lot of these fights, but I think that priority has to start being shifted over to Lotus, because Lotus did a lot of damage towards the end of the fight because he was left untouched, as well as Nero doing a good job trying to peel for him before he ended up going down. So these kind of prioritization have to be taken into account, but we've gone to a bit more slower place in the game right now. We are slowing it down compared to the kind of action we have, because it's been 27 minutes black and white and there's been 54 kills.
Yeah, and both team playing hyper aggressive because both team wants to scale, and another ult coming here to the side of Kakao.
Paranoia comes in, he goes on to Lotus, but he doesn't get the kill. But that now is a flashless Yunara, and that's what exactly is going to prompt them to come for this ban, because Yunara has to get a reset essentially for themselves. This might be Drake even up. Infi's looking with the ultimate from the Rengar, trying to stalk his prey. That looks to be maybe going for W's, which is a target could deal a lot later on. Here comes in the Winter's Bite, misses out onto Love to. Love to is bobbing and weaving across from this Brom. The discovered ultimate comes in from Kiana, huge one, as that Sam gets instantly destroyed, but Kiana has to give up his life. Infi's trying to fight back alongside King and Nero over here, but it's a 4 versus 3. But look who's come back to join the party after reset. That's going to be the Yunara. It's going to be the denial of the Baron yet again. And the fights keep on coming, but for now, Baron gets to keep his life.
Kakao is looking to sneak the Baron once again. TP coming in on the side of Oriana to assist for the same. Let's see what happens here.
We are looking for Infi's very far away from this bind, so he's maybe just looking to give it up, but I think Lotus and all can prevent it. I think Infi just wants to solo drink. They prioritize that Mountain Soul, and they are preventing Baron from going down, because I don't think the side of Kakao know that Infi is just going for the solo Drake right now, so they're just paying the respect without the vision that they do have, right? And here comes the Paranoia with the Shockwave, but it's only used on to the Brom. They're going to lock him in. That's a lot of CC being put on to the support, but that leaves Lotus to try and free hit from this. There's a lot of low HP bars. He has the runes as well. He's going to be doing a lot of damage. A double kill comes in for him. Infi gets the kill on the side onto Love 2, and here comes from the scissors from the Guardian Angel, come back. He's instantly gone down again. A double kill for Infi, picking off Severe towards them. This is game over here, black and white, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, S8UL can just walk mid and end the game. They did not, like the side of Kakao did not respect targeting Lotus. They burned all their sums for the support Brom, who, mind you, still took a lot of beating. And meanwhile, Lotus was free firing with King helping him on the side.
Yeah, like you're saying, exactly. They used everything on Nero over there, on the Brom, who's gonna be more than happy to soak that all up. Love to the last dish effort comes in. This man, honestly, I feel kind of bad for him, because he put his entire heart and soul into this matchup. It looked like he was the one who's gonna help Kakao get over the finish line, but unfortunately, fights don't go their way. Infi got that Drake comes back in for the fight coming out, and by the time everything gets used onto Nero, right? You get the Poppy Stun against the wall, you have the Paranoia plus the Shockwave coming in on to Nero, so nothing you can actually do to hit Lotus, so he's gonna free hit away. Infi comes in, picks up 2 side kills. The Severe was completely out of the fight, he was getting zoned, so not much he can do, and unfortunately for Kakao Gaming, S8UL will be taking game number 1 in this best of 3 series in the grand finals of FSN Lidoma presents the Summoner Showdown, and I think we are in for a series if this continues. I think the Stern comes in, and I think you cannot be giving Akshay Kiana, because in the beginning he was a bit of that difference maker, right? You gave him time, allowed time for Yunara to come back to the point where he can be strong, where he can do this much damage, and Infi was getting for those cheeky kills, especially after catching those stragglers after the Baron fight.
Yes, so S8UL a little shaky in the early game, I would say. Bot side was winning on the side of Kakao, but managing to absolutely dominate the mid game and finishing it in a very, very calm fashion, I would say. Like the team fight, Lotus was never looking any problems for him. King as well, nothing was essentially targeting him. So a walk in the park in the mid game, but early game, Kakao, the signs were very good on the sides for them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think the main part that I was talking about, the only thing I wasn't going there is the jungle objectives, right? Earlier on, because first two Drakes go over to the side of S8UL, they get the two grubs as well, and Nocturne was just looking to power farm for himself. And other than that, I think it's pretty good. But let's take a look at how the scoreboard looked for that matchup, and I think you're going to see a lot of damage in the hands of that Yunara, a lot of damage in the hands of that Rengar, as well as the Kiana. But if you can see it from the side of Kakao Gaming, look at that damage coming in over there, black and white. That's a lot for themselves, right? You can see that Vortex did a huge amount of damage. You can see everybody but the Poppy, and Poppy was just doing her job. So this is maybe Kakao Gaming pushing S8UL slightly to the limits.
Yes, like as I said, the early game, pure domination on the side of Kakao. They had top prio, mostly mid prio as well. Bot lane was winning. This early game was a sign of honestly fear for S8UL. I would say that they couldn't do much during the early phase, but as the mid game started rolling out, the damage started to balloon with this double assassin mid lane and jungle, and the Yunara finally scaling and getting that item power spike.
Exactly. The 3 iron power spike, the Runan's Hurricane just going to give so much damage, especially with the Qs getting their hits off over there. I think, yeah, this is exactly what you want. You're balancing out your comp pretty nicely over there. Nero, the sacrificial lamb at the end, pays dividends for his team. They catch everybody. He takes so much. See that slight. That's what I'm talking about. The slight prioritization in targets later on. Like I was saying, the Yunara, you're hitting the three around when she was about to hit the 3 item power spike. I'm already speaking about DC wants to go in onto her exactly, but you look at a Braum, and I don't think that's exactly what you should be going for. I think a bit in the heat of the moment, they think that they can get a pick off over there before break. Baron goes off. You can get the Glacial Fisher out. You can get the Winter Spire out. You can get the Braum stacks out. But yeah, that just did not go their way. They did technically a gamble essentially, and unfortunately for them, they came out with a net loss in that exchange.
Yes, so the Braum targeting was basically they didn't see anybody on the map. They saw this Braum, they pulled the trigger, they got him, but he still manages to get all of his combos off, and all the while Lotus is free firing on the side of
Mhm.
SCTUL.
Exactly like you're saying, like he's just free firing instead of the in that line. You're barely going to touch him to him, and you've used all your CC. You can't do much. Even if that fight before this one, right? Like where the Baron, where you're denying a lot, where if he gets that triple kill at the end or double kill, catching off strangles, where Aurora comes out as the only survivor. I think there also Nero did a good job. You protected Lotus for as long as possible. You got the HP bars down very low. So that's what I'm saying about he's not their first item of prioritization, and I think he should always be higher in the pecking order, especially after he's edging towards that third item. He's already got the Infinity, already got the Yuntals, right? The Kiana's just going to be looking for assassination. Infi's going to be looking for the same. So they're going to be hard targets because they're always going to be going for the flanks. But the Yunara is something that you're going to be looking out for. But guys, that has been game number 1 of the best of 3 grand finals. We'll be heading into game number 2. But before that, a very short break.
nuevos horizontes, seremos miles, crecemos en número, solo en nuevos horizontes, seremos miles, más y más allá. A través de la gran oscuridad, hasta que me convierta en rayos. Y más allá. A través de la gran oscuridad. Y más
Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for. Just give me what I want, baby. Just give me what I want. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want, baby. Can you give me what I need? Just give me what I want. Just give me what I want. Give me what I'm looking for.
We both have thoughts of leaving when thoughts get thrown around. But we keep going on believing, and on till we're all cried out. 'Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away. We don't feel like it. But this time it's not about escaping. We don't feel like it. We don't feel like it.
Guys, welcome back to FSN Presents Lidoma Summoner Showdown. It's S8UL versus Kakao Gaming in the grand finals, which is a best of 3. Unfortunately, we could not do our bracket reset because Kakao Gaming did forfeit the first series, technically, of this event, because that's what we're trying to bring in maybe into League. I know it's a bit harder on the longer format, but we'll listen to feedback, we'll maybe change it for future tournaments. But as of now, as it stands, first game went to S8UL over here, Black and White.
Yes, early signs as we discussed, Kakao very good. They were getting the picks, they were getting beautiful shockwave, Nocturne R's, but in the mid game, S8UL doing what S8UL does best, picking off champions and finishing the game in style.
Yeah, finishing it in style indeed. Lotus being a huge part of it towards the end point. Kiana in the beginning with Catbot. As the aggression shows, he was doing his good job. We did see good ultimates coming in from the combo of Dead Corporal and Ori. I think they only screwed up one time in the top side when they were going on to, the side of that Kragas. But other than that, I think their combos were good, especially that first one towards the Grubs. So they had that locked up, but unfortunately, it did not help them later on, as we will be jumping in to draft right now, which seems that S8UL will be retaining that blue side. And what do you expect over here, Black and White, in terms of picks and bans?
I would expect that the bans coming in from both teams will be the same, at least for the first 3, because they had Zaya getting banned here, just to respect for Sam, I guess. And I would love to see more these combo picks like Oriana Nocturne on the side of Kakao. Like they could go Ari. There's a lot of combos that mid jungle can do.
Yeah, there is a lot of combos that mid jungle can do. Unfortunately, as of now, it is not happening like that, right? Because we saw them try it out. We saw Infi and Kiana just melting out in the beginning formats over there for themselves. The Syndra ban comes in, the Zaya ban stays in as well. And that is just pretty static compared to what the first game was from their side. I'm expecting pretty much similar for at least for S8UL. If it's not broken, why fix it? They're going to be happy with that. I'm interested to see what's going to be piloted and what supports Nero is going to become the bot side, because in the beginning it wasn't looking like he was standing as good as we expect a player of Nero's caliber.
Yes, and not a ban coming here from S8UL. I think that's a ban so that they can pick up Rakan, because Renata, a very, very good counter to Rakan, I would say. You go in with the quickness and she just handshakes you away or just R's to disengage. So, a tactical ban, they might be fishing for Rakan here on the side of S8UL.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure expecting that it's going to be picked up by S8UL all in all for themselves, and not sure, because we had a couple of hitting Nero situations with that Rakan last time, and I'm not sure he's expecting to play that champion. He's a guy who loves showing aggression, honestly, in any lane that he plays, and I'm expecting something of that same variety. The Wukong ban is going to come out. Less options from the side of Dead Corporal, but even him, like Infi, has a good pool. Elise hasn't been picked up, and we pretty much know that Dead Corporal is one of the best Elise, as well as Infi has a good point over there, that you are looking good for yourselves, that in the terms of the Elise matchup between them, it's about who picks it up, because these are the hyper snowballing kind of champions that Infi does love playing earlier on. The Zinchao and Jarvan are left open, and the Nidalee is open as well, and that's exactly what Infi is going to be picking up.
Nidalee, a very predatory jungler, loves to invade early, gets a lot of ganks, snowball, all lanes. Like Nidalee early damage is one of the highest with her spears and execute thresholds. Very good pickup on the side of S8UL, and very strong in the meta right now as well.
Exactly, and it's something that you can punish with invades. There's also, like you're saying, good amount of burst damage coming. The Renekton getting locked up. Okay, this is something that King also likes to fight for, picking up a Renekton for himself. Interesting change of events that it's going for this. Another also reminder, right, that it's Vortex who's actually playing the top side. Usually when he is filling in for the side of Kakao Gaming, he either has the ADC or the jungle. So the top's a bit of a different kind of territory for him, but this is one of the champions that he does actually really shine on, that Renekton, the kind of aggression. Even though there were last time you had the range, so your laning phase went pretty well for yourself. You got out of a very tricky situation when that R came in from the Gragas with you ulting and using the other boundary coming to this side. So I think in terms of mechanics, it's going good. The Shen getting picked up for King. I'm going to expecting something of a hyper carry coming in for Lotus. The Milio and Vayne are still left open. We know that Lotus is pretty much his favorite champion is the Vayne.
Yes, and this matchup on the soft side, Renekton, I guess, was the pickup because Nidalee, Renekton on the same side is like, it's an auto win in the top lane. Like, not many champions can beat it. And as you said, Vayne getting picked up for Lotus, his favorite champion here.
It did get picked up, but now you don't know what support, right? You have 2 more bans to ban out supports for Vayne, so I'm expecting the Milio as well as the Lulu ban coming out against the Caitlyn. Gonna get picked up. So that's a good combo. The Morgana bind into, trap. That's a CC for days in the bot side if you're playing it perfectly. So that is a very good bot pickup from themselves, and it's up to see. And talking about the Lulu ban, that's exactly what is being hovered right now. That's exactly what's pretty much going to get out. Nobody will be tasting the color purple today, at least in game number 2, as we see. But what kind of bans are you expecting from S8UL maybe in the second phase?
I would expect more jungle bans. This could be a Morgana bit, but most likely Morgana support. But I would think, the Lee Sin and probably getting the Zinzao or the J4 out as well. Not letting any jungler that can match Nidalee's pressure early.
Exactly, yeah, you don't want to maybe going toe for toe over there. Exactly, those 2 bans come out. This is going to be the Lulu and the Milio. And yeah, we talked about maybe the Morgana Flex mid. Can you flex jungle after the recent change? We have seen a couple of jungle Morganas being played, and even today itself, Catbot played Morgana mid in that earlier series against 0-10 power spike. So yeah, Morgana can be flex, but I'm pretty sure with that Caitlyn you want to chat it up. And speaking of the Jarvan, like you're talking about, J4 is gonna hit the deck, no longer available for Dead Corpora. His Diana is left open, something else that he is very good at piloting, and expect to see some of these kind of picks.
Yes, and here they'll probably look for the jungle pickup. Zinzao is open. You could expect maybe Elise to match the Nidalee pressure. Let's see what DC is cooking here.
Let's see what DC is cooking indeed. Oh, the Viego gets picked up. We're looking for resets, but they're hard targets to actually jump on. The Nidalee's going to be bouncing and getting away. The Vayne's going to be doubling out inside. But if you do manage a reset on either of the champions, you're going to have a lot of mobility as well. So it's going to be expected a huge amount of pressure actually on what DC can be pulling off onto this champion. Also, just to point out, Viego lane is also pretty strong right now, but do we get to see a Zyra coming in? And that's exactly what we're going to see in the hands of Nero on the bot side. So it's a Vayne Zyra bot lane coming in right now. Let's see what Catbot has in store for us.
Yes, this Viego is gonna be a very, very controversial pick. This can either 1v9 because you have a Morgana, and if she gets a root on someone, this Viego will absolutely melt that person. But then again, you look at the side of S8UL, they have a Shen, they have a Nidalee heal, they have n number of utilities, and the Corki pickup for Catbot, he can escape as well with his W. So very, very controversial, I would still say, this Viego pickup.
Exactly, like we're talking about, there's a lot of agency of getting away, a lot of mobility coming in. The Valkyries there, the tumbles are there, the bounces there also from Nidalee. The Victor, do we get to see a Zoe? I don't get to see much Zoe right now in terms of action, but I think the safer choice is going to be that Victor, that scaling mid later to match the scaling later on from the Vayne as well. The Caitlyn is going to be in a lot of damage. I think the bot side, it's going to be Vayne, tumbling, trying to be dodging these bindings. If she gets caught, could be detrimental. And for the time of the Caitlyn, she doesn't have to worry that much. There's a spell shield always going to be available to the Morgana. But we get to see Catbot play the Corki. This is something that he does love playing as well in the mid lane. We haven't got to see that much of it in the recent kind of tournaments from himself. He's playing more of a carry type of role. But the Corki, we've already talked about it. The 2-item power spike is huge on the champion.
Yes, and looking at these comps, I'm just worried for the top side of Kakao because Shen versus Renekton, that's a losing matchup for Renekton. It's one of the few matches that Renekton struggles to win. And same with this Victor into Corki matchup. Like early game, Victor can get pushed in by this Corki if he uses his abilities, and Corki does have that early damage and kill threat on the Victor. So this top side is a little worrying for the side of Kakao, but on the flip side, that bot lane, the Caitlyn Morgana, the dreadful duo in the bot lane, very, very, very strong.
Yeah, very, very strong indeed. And this is, them picking up the Victor as their last pick, right, on R5 for themselves. So they know what they're getting into in terms of the comp. I think they're going to be trying to balance it out in terms of their late game scaling. I think it's still okay if you survive the late, but that's a big if right there, right? Because we know Catbot very, very aggressive lane. With the Corki, he's going to be looking to be zoning out the Victor as much as possible. The true damage will be coming in. And this is the problem, like you're talking about picking Renekton blind so earlier on in your draft, you're going to get countered in. And yeah, like you're saying, very few matchups are entry struggles, but Shen is definitely going to be one of them. And this is Panda going to be playing Shen, and he's always going to be there. And this is even more protection for the Vayne also later on.
Yes, the Vayne, like anytime Morgana roots and they dive on, there's this huge Shen R, the Stand United, coming in and basically denying any kind of resets coming onto that champion by this Viego, who is, in my opinion, going to make or break this team fighting. Because if once this Viego gets a reset on any one of their champ, that he's going to be a menace, because a Vayne reset or a Zyra or a Needle, any one of these will be a very, very painful experience for the side of S8UL.
Exactly. It's all about the reset game coming into this one for Viego's side, for the side of DC, but tougher targets to prioritize, tougher targets to actually go for. If you get actually even one of them, like you're saying, can do a lot, can kind of turn the table, become like a kind of Uno reverse card in these kind of team fights for their sake. And Vortex, I think, is much more comfortable on the Renekton in terms of team fight potential, and for himself, I think he's more comfortable. This is, I think, the most comfortable champ for him in the top lane, because Aurora's out of the picture. I don't think he plays that much Gnar as well, so range-wise, he won't be there. So I think with Renekton, he feels a bit safer, but that might pay hard for him in this lane. He has to play a bit more on the cautious side. And for the side of the bot lane, right, this Vayne and Zyra gonna have a tough time. There's gonna be a lot of poke coming in from Caitlyn and Morg, and you're going to have to sustain properly. These stumbles, at least level 1 to level 4, are going to be super important for Vayne.
It's like early game, if this Vayne and Zyra are able to get the prio, then they're very, very good in very good position. But if this Caitlyn or Morgana does shove them in, then this Vayne and Zyra, it will be a struggle for them to get out once they're shoved into the bot side, because the Caitlyn traps, the Morgana Qs just denying them space in. It's going to be hard once they're shoved in. But if they can get prio, if S8UL manages to get them prio early, then they can flourish.
Yeah, this is Lotus's win that we are talking about, ladies and gentlemen. It is something of his signature champion. Is something that he has shown a lot of prowess in the early days, and I'm expecting big things for him. Now he's maybe not playing with. Usually, whenever I've seen Lotus been playing for the side of S8UL with that Vayne, it's always been Emilio getting paired up, but this time it has been denied because Vayne was taking that R3 role, and then 2 more bans open up. The Emilio Lulu go out. Interesting to see how Nero goes with the Zyra, because Zyra can make a lot of aggressive plays essentially for them, right? It's going to be a good amount of poke depending on how they are going to be looking at it. Sam's Caitlyn is something you also have to fear. Like I was saying, Vortex going back to the Renekton top. W Victor also pretty good. I think the only problems I maybe have sometimes with W is when the Azir comes out for him, but otherwise a very solid mid laner. But the big talking point, as always, gonna be the Viego with the resets. Love to, if you could keep on that kind of fantastic performance he showed in game 1. This might be Kakao Gaming taking us to game 3.
Yes, if this Poppy last game is the Morgana this game, then it's gonna be trouble for S8UL, because Morgana as a champion, once if you land a Q, that champion is not gonna move for the next 2-3 seconds, and they're all vulnerable on the side of S8UL. Like other than Shen, not many, not all the other champions on the side of S8UL can tag that dark binding on the side. Like, it's like, if they get dark binded, they have to burn a Shen R or Nidalee heal or this like Vayne condemn and something that gets them off, because you cannot survive the damage output coming on the side of single target damage output on the side of Kakao.
Yeah, with that being said, guys, we're going to be taking a short break, but don't go anywhere. This action is something you do not want to miss. Guys, welcome back to this grand finals of FSN presents Lidoma Summoner Showdown, and I'm pretty excited. First game seemed pretty nicely contested by Kakao Gaming earlier on, but unfortunately fell short towards the end. Could not do what we were expecting of them, unfortunately, over here. And it looks a slightly bit like how history is kind of repeating itself. S8UL always usually had the upper hand. But Kakao Gaming is the only one, even in the best of fives, is taking S8UL to all games. But without any more breaks, guys, without any further ado, we're going to be heading right into the game over here between these two giants, between these two behemoths. And like you've been saying, Black and White, the changes in the roster might be affecting S8UL as well.
Yes, the changes here in Nero, not on his role. King really has only played this tournament only, like with this S8UL team, kind of gelling in slowly by slowly. Early game, first game, he didn't do much, but during the mid games and fights, the exploding cascades were nice. The belly slams to deny space was good. So I'm interested to see what is coming from King this game too.
Yeah, I'm also pretty excited to see. And you can see, for once, we have pretty much an ARAM kind of event going on over here. It only looks like Nero's a guy on the sidelines. He's going to be taking priority. He's also put down a ward, actually, over there. So he's going to be pretty good about it. I'm not quite sure what else we can do in this situation. We're just going to put some wards down. We're not going to put any offensive wards from the side of Kakao Gaming. So they're not going to have an idea where the Nidalee starting. It looks to be starting around the Wolves right now, for at least the Infi as of now. And this might be Nero walking into Love 2. This might just be a binding hitting out onto it. Instead, not just the vines coming in, going to root them in. Love 2 will be looking to clear the ward. But no, unfortunately, with the sweeper, can't go too far ahead. Can't get the clear out. The binding also going to go wide. I don't think even Lotus had to tumble it there.
Yeah, Love to holding his dark binding, making trying to fish for Lotus to chunk him out before the minions come. But as you can see, this Caitlyn Morgana, just a very strong early game presence, pushing in S8UL.
We are pushing that in for them. Top side, King's going to be looking to be zoning Renekton as of now. Exactly what we are expecting. And W going to be putting out, but the level 2 timer has been hit by Catbot over here. We can get to see the scoreboard as well. That would be lovely, just to see the CS difference between the members. King gonna go into Vortex. Heavy trades coming in the slice and dice. Gets Vortex away to safe distance. Fury at around that 30% mark. Nothing else of exciting, but bot side, that's what I expected. Love 2 and Sam just gonna keep that pressure on.
Yeah. Shen not having enough energy, cannot sustain before level 2 because the way Shen regains energy, he needs his E passive to be up. And if he had that enough energy, that was a very dead Renekton because of the slows from the Q drag through of the Twilight Assault.
Yeah, it is looking pretty nicely for him. Like in the terms of, Shen has the Doran Shield. When we get the heals up, he's going to be sustaining much better in the lane, especially with the grasp of the Undying as well. The Q misses out from the side of Sam, but Love 2 is going to begin W, and they're looking to just push these waves and hit the level 3 timer for this. So then you have the traps as well with your net over here. But level 3 timer is actually hit by both sides at around the same time. Love 2 and Sam trying to be putting in pressure over here. Morgana doing a lot of damage, but as of yet seems pretty equal. But look at the CS of Renekton on the top side, Black and White.
Yeah, this is the matchup of Shen versus Renekton. Like very, very hard for this Renekton to do what Renekton does best, and that is dogfight early and look to kill at level 3 and level 4. But Shen as a champion, one of the strongest top laners at early stages. A lot of damage if you are able to drag the Twilight Assault through an enemy champion. So, all in all, very good for King. He bases and has the item advantage on this Renekton, who is shoving into this Shen right now.
He's looking to shove in. CS at least picked up by Vortex, but that's a huge wave coming to King, who doesn't mind. He's going to be even maybe look to freeze it, essentially. This is exactly what he's doing. The taunt misses out, but now you can't even hit him up. Over here on the bot side, the Binding Head connect, a flash being burned by Nero, the Condemn onto Love 2 as Lotus trying to keep his distance. But finally, Sam and Love 2 showing what this bot lane can do. Nero, flashless for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, this is just Morgana and Caitlyn doing what Morgana and Caitlyn does best. Shoving in waves, putting traps, binding, and just one-shotting everyone, even at this early stages of the game.
It is on the early stages of the game. But I think Nero is the one who has to be worried. He's not the one who has cleansed, because Lotus has at least brought that in case by mistake his tumble fails and he gets caught in a bind, or if he tumbles into a trap as well. These are the kind of scenarios where he'll be looking to go for that. Even later on, the Viego W plus the Renekton W is something that he can get away from. But now Vortex putting on the pressure onto King. He has got his own recall, but now Shen is the one with the TP advantage. Shen is the one with the wave shoved towards him. But Vortex doesn't mind. Vortex can even go for a proxy because Nidalee was spotted on the ward on the bot side.
Yes, so Renekton could have done a proxy, chooses not to, uses the plant just to get vision as to if the Nidalee did indeed walk up to the wolves, which they should know because of the Scryer Bloom's longing effect of vision.
Yeah, and we're going to be quite fine with that. Morgana, love to, already coming in with the roams. Drake looking to be started up by Viego right now. And I think it's going to be a fine time. I don't think he's going to have much trouble. Nidalee's in the top side, nowhere close by. So first Drake, this time going to be striked by Kakao Gaming, going to be leaving their mark by taking this up. But Sam has been left alone on the bot side. The root doesn't connect. Here comes the net as well from the Caitlyn. Gets away to safety, dodges out pretty nicely. And now Lotus and Nero have to be careful because the wave's going to be slightly pushing away from them on the late run. Again, the vines don't connect, but a bit of chunk damage, very slightly, albeit so, onto Caitlyn. Caitlyn still being pretty nicely about the scene right here.
Yeah, Nero fishing for these roots on cooldown. Zyra can match this Morgana's rooting pressure, but speaking like, love to just hit another dark binding onto this Zyra.
It is looking a bit dicey. You have to be careful now. Lotus and Nero have got that pushed out. They know that Viego picked up Drake, so probably taking his top side camp, so he can be showing this aggression. You even have a ward in the bush, but not in the tri-bush essentially over there, right? W is going to be still going to be looking to push in these waves against Catbot. I think Lotus is still doing a fine job of trying to just be a bit of a nuisance, honestly, in the bot side. Keeps on dodging the Peacemaker coming in from Sam. I don't think Sam has landed much unless the bind connected from the Morg. So, on that note, I think trades looking even. CS numbers we'll see in a bit of short time. The taunt this time does land for King onto Vortex. Just a bit of trades for them. And more importantly, he's gone Conqueror. He's not gone press the attack. So, short trades are not what Vortex wants. He wants the longer kind of exchanges. He's going to get the full stack of Conqueror trying to go back into these fights. But he is a level behind. And yet again, he's taking advantage because he knows Nidalee again will be in the bot side.
Yeah, I am a bit surprised that this Nidalee is not pressuring, because Nidalee early game is one of the strongest junglers there is, and we can see like this Renekton is constantly trying to find where this Nidalee is, and and we have a fight coming here on the grubs.
Oh, the grubs coming in, a lot of E damage coming in from Catbot, and the flash forward by W with the ultimate coming in. Not enough. Catbot gets the first blood in this exchange. Lidoma has to ultimate to get away. W a bit in no man's land. He's going to get surrendered because Nero's coming from the other side. Nero's looking for the root. The ultimate comes in. He gets a double. He gets Dead Corporal on the backside as an afterthought essentially over there. Good angle coming in from Nero. Completely changed how it looked like maybe a bit of a dicey situation. W a bit over pushed because he had flash actually to start his ultimate in that fight.
The flash are by this Victor. Early game, not that much damage, but enough to push Catbot out for the fight initially. But then this Renekton just could not survive the burst coming out from the Corki and the Nidalee, and was instantly boomed on the side of S8UL.
Instantly boomed is a good way of putting it. A nice way, honestly, of putting it. But I think the nice zone onto Renekton, like you're putting him into the backside of the pit. He can't come in. The Valkyrie forward by Catbot is very aggressive, but it's in the gravity well of W. He's going to be locked up into place. Good exchange, and this is with Catbot being a level behind, but he also has a kill to his name. Stacking up onto the tier, has the Heartborn Axe. Again, another Peacemaker missed by Sam, but look who's coming in for the flank. It's Love to who's going to channel in the ultimate. Spell shields himself so he doesn't get condemned away. Sam's looking to pick that up. The ultimate comes in as well. The snipe allows the kill onto Lotus. A bit over pushed without vision in his own tri-brush.
Yes, and this is the power of Morgana. This Q to get out the cleanse, and then the R coming from the side of this Morgana, and Cat and Lotus just not feeling any happiness or any fun in this lane. I don't know. It's a very struggling lane for this side of S8UL.
Oh, Catbot, bit dangerous in that situation. Has to Valkyrie away from it. Nero's gonna be locked up at the flash forward by Dead Corporal, locking up onto Infi. This is a kitty cat who wants to get away from this exchange. You can see TP's coming in, Vortex is coming in for the flank from the other side. It looks like King's gonna get locked up, but before that, can he get a kill on to this Victor? And that's exactly what they look to be. The feats of warfare have been secure, but the Peacemaker comes in from Dead Corporal, gets another kill. The Condemn, unfortunately, not enough to signify the kill onto DC, and pretty much Lotus helps the Viego escape from what looked like sure death over there.
Very unlucky for this Vayne. Almost gets the kill. This Viego lives with a sliver of HP, and we do get the feats of strength on the side of S8UL, and this Shen is already 201 and looking very dangerous.
He is 201. He is looking dangerous. Absolutely. Even Catbot's getting in quite a farm. W is 20 CS behind right now, right? You can see it's making quite a bit of impact. Nice condemn against the wall from Lotus. He's even channeled his ultimate. The ultimate hunter comes in. A nice net used by Sam to run away. The 90 caliber net might be the difference over here. Lotus ultimate runs out. Sam actually aggressive flash forward after the TP is coming in from the from Catbot. He knows he can't escape, so he's gonna take one down with him. And look at where DC is. DC is waiting in this bush. They might be looking to catch on to Infi. The binding just barely sidestepped by Infi. The root doesn't connect on from Nero as well. So all is well said and done. W is going to be walking into this fight as well. It's pretty much a 3 versus 3 as Vayne's trying to make her way back into this exchange. They're trying to delay the Drake long enough so Vayne can make her appearance. Instead, it looks like Corky's gone back to the bot side. Gonna get some waves. Renekton picked up mid instead. So top's been left completely open. Shen doesn't have ultimate, neither does he have TP. So this is pretty much an afterthought in terms of Drake for the side of S8UL. They know Kakao's gonna be taking it, and rightfully so.
Yes, another Drake on the side of Kakao. They have 2 Drakes now and are 1 away from the feats of the jungle. And no contest coming on the side of S8UL for this Drake.
Yeah, they honestly can't. Like, we're talking about the CS, like in terms of the summoner difference in spells right there. Renekton was also close by. He was taking on the mid. He's gonna go top side. Not even much plating picked up by King, just given the state of the wave. And this is a level 10 Renekton Reigns, a level 9 Shen. Level Shen's gonna be fine. Heartsteel has already been made by him, so he's going to be looking for some bombs. It looks like Sam is in the deja vu, like where Lotus was last time. The root connects was the ultimate from Nero. You're gonna get the knockout. This is gonna be an easy pickings for Catbot. It looks like Catbot's taking over the bot side right now. We're gonna have shifts towards the mid lane. We might have Vortex getting caught out if he steps too forward, because Infi is just around in this bush. He's channeling his recall. Not gonna cancel. Instead, Vortex had walked and put down a ward. He might get cancelled out. The smite comes in to slow down the big bad crocodile, but there's not enough damage. That Corporal was coming here pretty much as an afterthought after picking up the red buff, but he realized he can't do much. Instead, he's just gonna get his own camps, maybe even hold off the wave on the top side.
Yes. The Renekton opting to not flash knows that he's pretty much dead in that play, because needly damage early game is too much, and this Shen is very strong, so just opts to hold his flash for a more important target in this team fights, upcoming team fights.
Absolutely, and Eclipse has been completed by Vortex finally on this. I think the only people without first items would be, if we exclude the support squad, W is going to come in onto Catbot. He has TP'd into the lane, has already lost half his HP. These bindings are going to be very hard for Love 2 to hit. Even if you're like one of the best supports, it's very hard to predict where the Vayne's going to be tumbling. There's 2 directions. You can choose to walk straight. So it's going to be hard to pick it off in team fights. And this is what we're talking about. There's so much mobility in the champs from the side of S8UL. It's going to be hard to land your CC. You don't have much of a point and click CC unless you're talking about Viego, but even then a bit of skill, or unless we're talking about the Renekton. And this might be W getting caught out very nicely. Puts down the ward. Infuse coming in. The missile misses from Cat, but the gravity well put in as well. W is trying to fight back, but it's a spear straight to the face for his troubles.
Yes, and that's base for this Victor, and the Corki can free push and look to get the turret in the bot side.
Looks like we might have Lotus having a bit more of connectivity issue because he DC, but he reconnected. Catbot was looking to recall, getting caught out by Dead Corporal, but this is Catbot doing a lot of damage. Nice Valkyrie to dodge the ultimate. He gets the kill up instead. And it looks like W is trying to come in, but he's also taking quite a beating, just barely surviving. An excellent outplay coming in from the middle, coming in from Catbot of S8UL.
This Trinity Force on this Corki makes him so strong. The Valkyrie out to dodge the Heartbreaker from DC and outplaying him and almost getting the kill on W as well on the end part of the fight.
Yeah, it was looking like Cardboard had their number, especially in that situation. The 1v2 gets a kill, almost gets 2 kills actually to his name. And this is what we're talking about. The Trinity Force is a good power spike, especially after the Man Moon's looking even better. Love 2 is going to be popping the Black Shield just in case the roots were coming in, the grasping roots from Nero. Didn't connect either, better be safe than sorry. But in the meantime, Infi has picked up the Herald, and more importantly, neither team has the feats of strength as of yet.
And as we say that, we get the bot 30 red.
The fight coming in, the Stragglethorns come in, but it's not enough to save Nero's life, and Dead Corporal has turned in to the Zyra. He's going to Heartbreak back into the fight, but here comes the ultimate from the Shen. Lotus is going aggro for a double taunt connection. King going monstrous over here, almost saved Lotus' life. But the flash forward is there by Infi. He's going to pick up the kill, a double kill be it, as you may, over that side. An excellent counter play coming in from what looked like a very precarious situation from the side of S8UL. And this is the importance of that Shen.
Yes, the first pick on the side of Kakao, getting Nero and getting the reset for this Viego, but he going under turret is fishing for a lot considering there is a Shen in the game. And that Stand United turns the whole fight, gives this Vayne the ability to just walk up to 3 people and get 2 for the side of S8UL.
Absolutely, that was a massive double man storm. But Catbot's not done, he's going on to W, but this is a bit over aggressive even for the side of Akshan. He's going to get caught out, the death ray comes in, signifies the kill, but no, I'm not quite sure why W was trying to walk back in because it still becomes a 1-for-1 trade. Catbot making the best of what looked like a very dire situation for him, and this is when Drake is coming up. Both mid laners are unavailable. This is a fight for vision essentially, and the TP is coming in for Shen. He wants to make his headway faster on this side. You can see Vayne is chasing Sam on the other part of your map, but this is technically a 3-for-3 at the pit. Now both ADCs will be joining the fray. Vortex just channeling away at some wards. The Drake is down to half HP. This is where King wants to make his move. The taunt does not connect. And anyway, the bind comes in. But the Dragon Taunt is good enough to knock up the Renekton. But that's a very beefy man. But not so beefy after the silver bolts are being piled into his backside over there. It's not looking good. Thing goes down. But Sam, aggressive flash forward, gets the kill on to Nero after the 6 shot coming in for himself with the headshot. A binding goes wide, but that's because DC already got the kill. The resets are coming in. DC has gone huge in this fight.
Precarious situation early for this side of Kakao. They lost their big crocodile, but a beautiful play from Sam hitting the Q and then the flash auto to kill Nero, and sneaky Death Corporal goes into the bush of the Ocean Drake and gets the resets to get the third Drake on the side of Kakao.
It is a bit tough to see what this man can or cannot do because this man is popular. He might not be getting the kills, but he's getting the resets more importantly. And Sam, this is second time we have seen him flash aggressively in for a kill. He is not afraid of taking a fight, and I love what I am seeing. He has a Collector Infinity Edge already built. Vayne slightly behind, gone for the Kraken Slayer first itemization. Last time we saw Lotus play the Vayne, which was in LCP wildcard playoffs, he actually had attempted to go into the Hexblade first in itemization, but instead he's choosing to fall back into the old ways. Another Bong for King signifies another Heartsteel stack on the top side. The Fury is being built up for Vortex, so King has to be careful of how he wants to deal with it. The Slice and Dice does connect, but here comes Dead Corporal. I don't think there's much of kill potential, and there exactly is not. Catbot, you have to be careful. The Death Ray of Victor starts to do a lot of damage now, especially with the Siphon power as well. And if the Chaos Storm comes out, that might be a bad situation that Catbot can find himself. But he does have Nero close by in case any of that kind breaks out. But as of now, it is Kakao Gaming on Ocean Soul Point this game.
Yes, pretty even match. The gold is barely 2k ahead on the side of S8UL, but they are down 3 Drakes, and it will be interesting when the soul point does come, because it will be on time with Rift Herald and all, so they can look to trade for that. By Rift Herald, I mean the Baron.
Yes, exactly. The timers. Very important to talk about timers. Atakan has been spawned. You know, you're walking a bit too dangerous for my eyes. Gonna eat a death rate, not get the second charge hit of it instead. But the Baron damage is coming in from Victor. He's slowly becoming a menace as well. Even good enough to deal with Cat. But look at how Love2's walking in over here. It's going to be Corki actually going to go for the recall. So Nero has to back away along with Infi, and this might signal them to start Atakan from this side. They're not sure if he has back, because there was a ward in the bush. He didn't see the full recall coming in from Catbot. So they have to be wary of where Corki is lurking around right now. Lotus with himself gets a nice wave pushed in, and that's where you see W has to go for answering it. And the Atakan has now been started by Kakao Gaming. This could be a complete flip on how this game is looking, depending on which way it goes. Here comes the Stragglethorns from Nero. Doesn't catch out any member, just maybe to dissuade it. And Catbot's going to come in. The flash forward by Infi. Infi steals the Atakan, but will give up his life. Catbot's doing massive amounts of damage as well. Shen joins the fray. W is going to go a quadra kill. Give this man his penta. Catbot gets the penta kill in the second game of the grand finals over here.
This Corki, the 2-item Corki, is just monstrous and gets a pentakill in this fight. And the Renekton, we see the Renekton and everyone just putting the button on this Nidalee, trying to stop this Nidalee from stealing, but Infi on point with the smite, steals away the Atakan, and they get a bot tier 2 for their troubles as well.
They get a bot tier 2. Infi goes for high risk, high reward kind of play, and he does get rewarded. And you're gonna even pick up a tier 2 in the mid lane. So this is just happy camping for them. Goal lead quite significantly in S8UL's favor. You can see Dead Corporal is looking to come with the Spectre more from the side, maybe to get a kill or pick onto Lotus. Lotus has to be careful. He's all alone over here. This could be the death of him. The Spectre more cannot connect because Lotus wasn't locked up. Here comes the ultimate, but no, the ace in the hole secures it, but the TP comes in from Cadbur from the other side. He's doing so much damage right now. Another double kill picked up. He's even emoting on the spot. He does not care whatsoever. He's having the time of his life on this Cork. The Yordle who could and the Yordle who would in this case. They're gonna march it down in 3 deaths on the side of Kakao Gaming. Only Lotus was sacrificed. That's after he was a bit mispositioned over there. The inhibitor is going to be taken out, but I think that's all she wrote about it. This is playing on the boundaries of inhibitor timing that you want to be taking. W has to be careful. Catbot's looking to come in. He does Valkyrie in, but there's a gravity well going to keep some distance. Here comes the Chaos Storm, but you don't have that much damage. You have the Rod of Ages and Leandris, and you're not going to do much to Catbot as because he has the Merc Treads build up. He does have the magic resist, and he has 3 items completed.
Yes, and 3 items and a BF. This Corki is just gonna one-shot anyone that he sees, and I don't know how you're gonna kill this Corki as well, because if he gets caught, there is the Shen who is monstrous, which has so much HP, gives you basically a full HP bar of shield again.
Exactly, he's just gonna keep on getting shields on shields on shields over here. You can see King has TP'd into the top side. He's gonna even chase, but look who's coming. Dead Corporal. The Spectre Mod does connect this time. You do get the stun. Love2's close by. He has to get this binding completely to perfection, but nice dodge coming in from King. The Ace does connect, but King gets out with his life. So does Vortex. But look on the other side of the map what's happening. You've committed 4 members to try and catch this Shen. So what do? You've left W all alone to his lonesome. Now the reinforcements are coming in. Vortex the one to get his back off first, and now S8UL have to back off from this point. But this is 1 minute out from Baron, and Kakao Gaming's team fighting is not looking like what we want from them.
Baron, the next objective should be favorable for S8UL, but if Kakao manages to solve till the time the Drake is up, then we can see like a trade coming from the side of Kakao, because it is soul for them.
It is soul for them. You are not wrong. Oh, Sam wants to fight head on with Lotus. He is pretty strong at this point, mind you. But Lotus has his cleanse, has the little tempo, has to kite away to glory. And Catbot is the guy you actually have to be targeting. This man is massive right now. He's already snowballed quite so far ahead onto Nero. Nero might be getting caught out on the way back. The binding doesn't connect. Dead Corporals come in, flash forward. He's not going to get the reset, unfortunately, because here comes Shen, the savior of the day. Catbot going huge on the backlines. All that remains of Kakao Gaming is W, and I don't know how long this man can stand for. This is looking like a GG over there. W is gonna flash, try and bite some time, but Lotus is not done. He's coming in for this change. W is going gold, and maybe he gets his cooldowns off it, but no, the taunt comes in. That's an ace coming out. This should be GG for S8UL Esports, and we're going to game number 3.
This is another win for S8UL, and it's a great, like, it was a one-sided game from the get-go. All lanes were winning on the side for S8UL.
Yep. Winning lanes essentially, right? I think the only problem was the earlier part of the bot lane, right? Because I think that's where they were lacking a bit. But everywhere else, they were just shining. King having a flawless game. My man has gone 4-0-12. The Corki 12-1-7. Akshar's only dying once, and even in that one death, he still got a trade in a 1 versus 3 in that scenario. So props off to Catbot. Man even got a pentakill in our grand finals over here. So if we had an MVP versus this match, it's tied between him and King, because King saved his laners quite a bit. The Shadow's coming in perfectly. He has not died either. But all in all, I think S8UL completely stepped up the game. I think they took that game number 1 against this team, against Kakao Gaming a lot. I'm sorry, but I don't think is not looking at all like what we expected from Kakao in this scenario.
Yes, game 1, Kakao did look very well, and they were going toe-to-toe with S8UL, but this game 2, just S8UL ran the show from the get-go.
We will be taking a look at the stats of the game. And yes, last game, S8UL did come out on top. But just look at the damage this Corki has done. And mind you, this is true damage. So that's going to hurt you quite some bit. With the Collector as well, you're just going to be melting people. The Penta comes in from Akshar as well at the end of the day, signing off on a near perfect game coming in for him. And he's brought this Corki back into style with these plays. You could see Nero was much more comfortable, I would say, on the Zyra because of the kind of pick potential you're going for. King just doing a fantastic job of saving his lanes. I think Sam was the only silver lining from the side of Kakao Gaming because he was aggressive, and even those flash forward, getting those kills did pay off for him. And Black and White, take us a little bit through these advanced stats and these graphs of damage over here.
Okay, let's see. So if we see the damage, if once we can get them on screen. But I would say so Catbot, this damage, this Corki, just true damage from top to bottom. Like there's nothing you can do to like out sustain this Corki damage, because all you can do against true damage is build HP. But how much HP can you build if this champion with 4 items at 23 minutes or 24 minutes? It's unreal. And Shen, even though building full tank, manages to do a lot of damage. Like he is matching almost all the damage on the side of Kakao as well.
Yeah. Yeah, and that is pretty good. We're taking a look again at the advanced. I think we have fixed the graphs over here, but a look at that 33k damage coming in from Catbot. Insane numbers. And yeah, you talk about Shen, right? He's tanky, but he's the second guy who did the most damage over there on that team, right? That's exactly why this champion is kind of busted. And even Nero playing his part, doing more damage than Infi, but Infi's job was just pretty much denying a lot. I think he came in hugely clutch when he went for that Atakan, the Atakan kind of, flip. I think he came out pretty nicely over there. And all in all, everyone played pretty good from S8UL. And Kakao Gaming, unfortunately, because they had forfeited that first series, won't get another chance at this matchup. Your champions will be S8UL right now. And it's back to basically history repeating itself. You did try and do as much. Like you're saying, game 1 was way closer than game 2, no? Black and White?
Yes. Game one, S8UL was kind of struggling and tumbling early game, but they made a comeback in the mid game. This game, there was no problems all around. Bot lane was shoved in early, and Sam was kind of dominating the earlier parts of the game, but on the top side and the mid, and it was like one-sided show.
Yeah, it was pretty much one-sided, a very one-sided show, as you are saying over there, rightfully so. And it's a tough time for Kakao Gaming. They were not playing with their original top laner, right? Because Vortex was filling in for the side of Copy, because I think he was just not available. So maybe even those shifts coming in might have harmed them in terms of what they can do. But I think with King coming in top side, he's playing, like you're saying, has a much more wider pool compared to what RTU did have in the past. And I think they're playing to their strengths according to what they have. You have Nero filling in as support, but he's still doing a pretty backup job. Sometimes he does make a couple of here and there decisions, but else it is pretty good coming in for them. And we are going to show the gold earned, and you can see why Catbot had 4 items, black and white. This man was richer than Jeff right now.
Yes, that's what you get when you get a pentakill, no? You get a pentakill and then you have more money than most people combined.
Yeah, more money than most keeping combined is definitely a nice way to put that out there. Like you can see the second highest coming in was Sam. That's after he played phenomenally on the Caitlyn, right? Because you could see a couple of opportunities. He was going in for kills and he was doing a lot for his team. Unfortunately, yeah, you had a lane where you could have won, but you didn't win it out as good as you could have. I would say honestly, because you had to put the Vayne behind. But it's not even his fault. Like it's the Corki getting so far, it's the Corki getting that pentakill, the Corki accumulating so much gold, the Corki snowballing. And if you have a champ who's going to snowball, is going to do true damage against a team that's not going to be building as much tankiness as maybe a tanky top laner would, because right at the end of the day, he's technically a bruiser on the top side. It's going to be hard to deal with all that true damage.
Yes, and he had so much backup in the sense he had a Shen R, he has Nidalee heals, he has zone for zone from the Zyra, the Stranglethorn. He has backup damage if he needs, but he didn't need any backup damage in this case. But this Corki was able to do free firing before without any troubles.
Exactly, that's a nice way to put it. He could free fire without any troubles, only found himself in one precarious situation where he was caught out in the bot side. But other than that, even then, getting that kill in a 1 versus 3 scenario, Akshat, you take a bow, my man. You played phenomenally today, I would say, as well, especially in this game number 2. And the entire team of S8 was looking pretty good. So I think that first game in the competition where they lost against S8 can just be treated like a hiccup, pretty much in this situation. With that being said, guys, we are going to be taking a short break before we come back.
We both have thoughts of leaving when thoughts get thrown around. But we keep going on believing, and on till we're all cried out. Cause we don't feel like throwing it all away.
Welcome back to FSN presents Lidoma Summoner Showdown coming in. It was the grand finals. It was a best of three. Mind you, I'm very excited we're going to game three, but there is no game three. That is S8UL taking the series for themselves in pretty nice fashion, in typical S8UL fashion, right? They dropped only one game throughout the entire tournament, which would unfortunately be their first game, but they made a nice lower bracket run, came back into it. Unfortunately, we didn't get the bracket reset coming in for them, so they will be your champions of the Summer Showdown for themselves, Black and White. And I think this is a team that expects this kind of performance.
Yes, congratulations to S8UL. They were the better team in most parts of the second game and the second half of the first game. In the mid game, they were the better team and they were the victorious ones today. And as you said, the early hiccup in the tournament were forced to play from the lower bracket, but then they didn't drop any games, showed their class, and won the tournament.
They did show their class. They did end up winning the tournament, and they did it in pretty nice fashion and style, right? I think we have to put it down to Lotus lagging pretty much in that game one, because otherwise, put on a good performance coming in. And hats off to Sam also. He performed phenomenally throughout most of the series as well. Very good ADC, very solid ADC. But with that being said, guys, that has been the FSN presents Lidoma Summoner Showdown Grand Finals. Once again, congratulations to your winners, S8UL Esports, taking the series down in a 2-game fashion against Kakao Gaming. Unfortunately for them, it's a repeat of the past. But that's been me, Madness, alongside Black and White, and we hope to catch you guys in the next tournament.
This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Evolution. This is the future. Human error. Evolution. This is the future.